Welcome to Slow Night Ancient Tales, where forgotten legends come alive in the quiet of the night. Tonight, we open volume 25 of the Samguk Sagi, turning the pages to a time when the ancient kingdom of Baekje faced the fierce winds of change. These records tell of turbulent times and shifting tides, yet beneath the heavy weight of history, there were deep, quiet nights. Nights where the kings of Baekje stood alone beneath the starlight, looking out over their lands, quietly yearning for the peace and safety of their people. Tonight, let the ancient winds that swept through the pine forests carry away all your worldly worries. To protect your peaceful rest, the screen will slowly fade to black as our journey begins. Now, close your eyes and listen to the gentle, enduring breath of the forgotten kingdom. King Jinsa. King Jinsa ascended to the throne. He was the second son of King Jonggusu and the younger brother of King Chimnyu. He was strong, brave, clever, and full of wisdom. When King Chimnyu died, the crown prince was too young, so his uncle Jinsa succeeded to the throne. In November, the winter of his first year, 385, he offered sacrifices to the gods of heaven and earth. In the spring of his second year, 386, he conscripted people aged 15 and older from within the country to build a fortress. It started from Cheongmongyong, went north through Palgonsong, and reached the sea to the west. In April, the summer, because the people were starving, he opened the granaries to provide relief. In August, the autumn, Goguryeo invaded. In September, the autumn of his fifth year, 389, he attacked the southern borders of Goguryeo and took many spoils. In September, the autumn of his sixth year, 390, he ordered Dalsol Jinga to attack and capture Goguryeo's Dogonseong, taking 200 captives. He appointed General Jinga as Byongwan Dwapyong, the Minister of War. In October, the winter, the king went hunting in Guwon and did not return for 7 days. In January, the spring of his seventh year, 391, he renovated the palace, dug a pond, built a mountain, and raised exotic birds and strange flowers. In April, the summer, the Malgal attacked and captured Jokyeonsong on the northern border. In July, the autumn, King Damdeok of Goguryeo, also known as Gaero the Great, came with 40,000 soldiers and captured over 10 castles, including Sokyeonsong on the northern border. Hearing that Damdeok was highly skilled at commanding troops, the king did not go out to defend against him, and thus many villages north of the Hansu River were lost. In October, the winter, Goguryeo attacked and captured Gwanmisong. The king went hunting in Guwon and did not return for over 10 days. In November, the king died at the temporary palace in Guwon. King Essen, also known as Abang King Essen, ascended to the throne. He was the eldest son of King Chimnyu. He was born in the detached palace in Hanseong, and a mysterious light illuminated the night of his birth. As he grew up, his spirit and ambition were heroic, and he loved falconry and horseback riding. Because he was young when King Chimnyu died, his uncle King Jinsa succeeded to the throne instead. He took the throne after King Jinsa died. In November, the winter of his first year, 392, he offered sacrifices to the gods of heaven and earth. No snow fell. In January, the spring of his second year, 393, he paid his respects at the shrine of King Dongmyong. He appointed Jinmu as the left general, entrusting him with military affairs. Jinmu was the king's maternal uncle. His nature was calm, strong, and resourceful, earning the deep trust of the people at the time. The king said to him, "Gwanmisong is our fortress on the northern border, but Goguryeo now possesses it. This is a source of bitter grief for me. You must do everything in your power to avenge this humiliation." In August, the autumn, he ordered Jinmu to lead 10,000 soldiers to attack Gwanmisong. Jinmu led the way, braving flying stones and arrows, but the people of Goguryeo defended the castle firmly. With supply lines cut off, he led the troops back. In February, the spring of his third year, 394, he made Prince Jeonji the crown prince. He granted a great pardon to prisoners. In August, the autumn, he fought against Goguryeo below Sugokseong, but was defeated. In August, the autumn of his fourth year, 395, the king ordered Left General Jinmu and others to attack Goguryeo. King Damdeok of Goguryeo personally led 7,000 soldiers, set up camp along the Paisu River, and fought back. Our forces were greatly defeated, and the dead numbered 8,000. In November, the winter, to avenge the defeat at the Paisu River, the king personally led 7,000 soldiers across the Hansu River and set up camp below Cheongmongyong. However, a heavy snowstorm struck, and many soldiers froze to death, so he withdrew his army and returned to Hanseong. In May, the summer of his 6th year, 397, the king established friendly relations with Goguryeo and sent Crown Prince Jeonji as a hostage. In February, the spring of his 7th year, 398, a comet appeared in the purple forbidden enclosure, also known as Jamisong. In August, the autumn, the king deployed troops to attack Goguryeo and set up camp north of Hansen. However, when a large star fell into the camp at night with a loud noise, the king was terrified and withdrew the army. In August, the autumn of his 8th year, 399, the king conscripted soldiers and horses on a large scale to attack Goguryeo. The people could not endure the bitter toil of war, and many fled to Silla, causing the population to decrease significantly. In February, the spring of his 12th year, 403, he sent an envoy to establish friendly relations with the country of Wa. In March, the spring of his 14th year, 405, a white aura arose from the west of the royal palace. In September, the autumn, the king died. King Jeonji, also known as Jikji, was the eldest son of King Asen. He was made crown prince in the 3rd year of King Asen's reign, and in the 8th year he went to the country of Wa as a hostage. In the 14th year, the king passed away. The king's second younger brother, Hunhai, acted as regent and waited for the crown prince to return, but the youngest brother, Solye, killed Hunhai and ascended the throne himself. While in Wa, Jeonji heard the news of the king's death, wept loudly, and asked to return. The king of Wa sent him back with an escort of 100 soldiers. When he reached the border, a man from Hanseong named Haechung came and reported, "The great king has passed away, and Solye has killed his older brother and recklessly taken the high seat himself. I implore you, Crown Prince, do not enter lightly." Jeonji stayed on an island in the sea and waited. In November, the people of the country killed Solye and welcomed Jeonji to ascend to the throne. King Guisan was the eldest son of King Jeonji. When King Jeonji passed away in the 16th year of his reign, Guisan succeeded to the throne. King Biu was the eldest son of King Guisan, though some say he was an illegitimate son of King Jeonji. His posture and appearance were beautiful, his demeanor was excellent, and his speaking skills were outstanding, so people revered and cherished him. When King Guisan passed away, he succeeded to the throne. King Gaero. King Gaero, also known as Goguryeo, had the personal name Gyeongsa, or sometimes just Gyeong. He was the eldest son of King Biu. When King Biu passed away, he succeeded to the throne. In September, the autumn of his 21st year, 475, King Jeoryeon of Goguryeo, also known as King Jangsu, came with 30,000 soldiers and surrounded the royal capital Hanseong. The king Gaero closed the city gates and could not go out to fight. The Goguryeo army divided their forces to attack from 4 directions, and riding the wind, they set fires that burned down the city gates. The people's hearts were filled with peril and fear, and some even tried to leave the city to surrender. The king was cornered and did not know what to do. He eventually led a few dozen cavalrymen out of the city gates and fled to the west, but the Goguryeo soldiers pursued and killed him. Before this, King Jangsu of Goguryeo secretly sought to conquer Baekje and looked for someone capable of going there as a spy. At that time, a Buddhist monk named Dorim volunteered, saying, "Although this foolish monk has not yet understood the true path, I have been thinking of ways to repay the country's grace. If the great king does not consider me unworthy and commands my service, I promise not to disgrace your orders." The king was pleased and secretly ordered him to deceive Baekje. Consequently, Dorim pretended to have committed a crime and fled into Baekje. At that time, the king of Baekje, Goguryeo, loved playing chess and Go. Dorim arrived at the king's gate and reported, "I have studied Go since I was young and have reached quite a profound level. I wish to present my skills to your majesty." The king called him in, played a game of Go with him, and found that he was indeed a master of the nation. Ultimately, the king respected him, treated him as an honored guest, became very close to him, and lamented that they had met so late in life. One day, while Dorim was sitting in attendance, he spoke quietly. I am a person from another country. Your Majesty has not alienated me and has shown me profound grace, yet I have only offered one skill and have never provided even a hair's breadth of benefit. Now, I wish to offer a word of advice, but I do not know what your Majesty's thoughts will be." The king replied, "Speak. If it benefits the country, that is exactly what I hope for from you, great master." Dorim said, "The great king's country is surrounded on all four sides by mountains, hills, rivers, and the sea. This is a fortress bestowed by heaven, not a terrain made by humans. Because of this, the neighboring countries in all directions dare not harbor ambitions to invade, and only hope to have the time to serve and honor you. If so, you should astound people's eyes and ears with a majestic presence and wealthy achievements. Yet the castle walls are not repaired, palaces are not built. The remains of the former kings are temporarily buried in the open, and the houses of the people frequently collapse into the river. In my heart, I consider this improper for the great king." The king replied, "Good, I will do that in the future." Following this, the king conscripted all the people of the country to steam earth and build walls. Soon he constructed palaces, pavilions, and terraces within them, and none were lacking in grandeur and splendor. He also brought huge stones from the Ungnaa River, which is the Han River, to make a coffin and bury his father's bones. He built an embankment along the river, stretching from the east of Achaseong to the north of Sungsan. Because of this, the granaries were emptied, the people became impoverished, and the peril to the country was more precarious than a pile of eggs. Then Dorim fled back and reported this to King Jiangsu. King Jiangsu rejoiced and prepared to attack Baekje, dispatching troops to his generals. Hearing this, Goguryeo said to his son Munju, "I was foolish and lacked wisdom. I believed and employed the words of a deceitful man, bringing us to this ruin. The people are exhausted, and the military is weak. Even if there is a crisis, who would willingly fight with all their might for me? I ought to die for the royal shrine, but it is useless for you to remain here and die with me. Why do you not escape this disaster and continue the royal lineage of the country?" Munju then went south alongside Mokiop Manchi and Jomi Jiolchui. Regarding this, Mokiop and Jomi are both two-character surnames. The Book of Sui recorded Mokiop as two separate surnames, but it is unknown which is correct. At this time, Goguryeo officials Daero-jo, Jejong-geolru, and Goi-manyon, where Jejong and Goi are both two-character surnames, led soldiers to attack the northern fortress. They captured it in 7 days. They then moved to attack the southern fortress. The atmosphere inside the city grew perilous and fearful, so the king fled. The Goguryeo general Geolru and others saw the king, dismounted from their horses, and bowed. Then they spat in the king's face 3 times, rebuked him for his crimes, tied him up, and sent him below Achaseong, where they killed him. Geolru and Manyon were originally people of Baekje who had committed crimes and fled to Goguryeo. The historian comments and says, "When King Ming of Chu was fleeing, Huai, the younger brother of Lord Shen of Yun, was about to kill the king, saying, 'King Ping killed my father, so is it not right that I kill his son?' Lord Shen said, 'The ruler punished his subject. Who dares to seek revenge? The ruler's command is heaven. If he died by the command of heaven, against whom will you seek revenge?' Geolru and the others committed crimes themselves and were not tolerated by their country. Yet they guided enemy troops, tied up their former ruler, and harmed him. Their injustice is extreme. Someone might ask, then what about Wu Zishu entering Ying and whipping the corpse? The answer is, Yangzi evaluated this in the Fa Yan, saying it did not stem from virtue. So-called virtue is nothing but benevolence and righteousness. Therefore, Zishu's vicious heart was inferior to the benevolent heart of Lord Shen. Judging from this, it is clear that Geolru and his companions committed an act of severe injustice.